All right, then time for our book club. Ben, take it away.
I absolutely love this book. Just straight off the bat,
We know this is the second time.
Yeah, I know. But this time, you guys all read it.
Yes.
You probably all read it before.
We did.
It is Batman: The Long Halloween.
See, now, I'm going to say something. I probably should have given you a bit more pushback on this one because I think you should have done a more horror book.
I know.
But this is, it has Halloween in the title,
I'll
so
allow it.
Yeah,
so I did allow
that's
it.
actually the reason why I picked it, because it had Halloween in the title.
I know.
I don't, and also, I don't have any horror books.
I've got plenty you could have borrowed.
Nah, but I won this from my shelf.
This is his book club.
Yeah. Actually, I was actually glad to read this a second time because I realized that, I think I've said it before, but I'll definitely say it again, that this is one of the most, I don't know if it's a perfect, but it's a really good Batman noir story. So much so that I will most definitely want to get the Batman, like when they started making the Batman noir books where they would reprint other graphic novels just black and white.
I have the Court of Owls one. It's gorgeous.
Like this, I would definitely buy The Long Halloween because this I would feel would be perfectly in black and white.
Did they not do the Long Halloween yet?
No, I think Could they have.
I think so.
Yeah. But as I was reading this a second time, I have to give so much credit to Tim Sale, the artist, because he does a lot of great stuff with blacks.
Yeah, dude.
With
It
dark
really
colors.
is a noir colors. Like,
Yeah.
the imagery and like in the shadows, like the shadow work is really important in this book, especially with Harvey Dent. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, it's a beautiful book.
Yeah, dude.
After reading this again, especially in the earlier chapters, there's just scenes where you don't see Batman's silhouette at all. You just see his eyes.
Yeah,
and
dude.
everything else is
Great.
darkened but his eyes. I'm like, this is just great noir story, crime story.
Holiday killer.
Yeah.
Every holiday, once a month, he murders someone.
It starts on
or
Halloween
multiple.
and it ends on Halloween. That's one of the reasons why I like it, because it's a year-long thing. And when this was originally printed, it came out a month of a holiday. So
Yeah, dude.
it was a monthly maxi series. And
It's there's 12 months in a year, but it's 14 issues. Oh, spoil that one.
like this shot right here, where Harvey and Batman are talking, where Harvey's like, I need to talk to you. And then Batman says, then talk. But you see Batman, he's almost completely in black, and there's this grand shadow on the wall. Just like this imposing figure of Batman. Like, you know who you're talking to.
I told you this, Sparks, earlier. My favorite Batman is Batman Returns, because I love Catwoman. This gave me real hard Batman Returns, Selena Kyle, Bruce Wayne stuff. Because like they have their double lives with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that stuff is so good. And Selena Kyle's John's so cool here. And I love that Catwoman outfit so much.
Oh, yeah.
This might be my favorite Poison Ivy, not like the character interpretation, but the look of her.
Yeah.
Like where the petals are like falling off her body, like she's made of leaves. Man, that looks so cool.
Like
Holy
her
shit.
hair is ivy.
Yeah, dude, it looks awesome. Looks real good.
Yeah, and just the mystery itself. The mystery itself is like, who is the holiday killer? And then spoilers for, how old is this book? 20-some years old?
No.
Actually,
It's not 20 years old.
Came out
No
in the
way.
2000s, right?
Tim Sale, 98,
Holy
right there on
shit.
my.
This
yeah,
book is, wow.
This book is 20 years old.
Oh my
Holy shit!
God.
I'm surprised there wasn't a 20th anniversary edition put out or something.
Yeah.
I know, right? Damn. But
I'm surprised nobody's talked about it being the 20th anniversary.
I'm surprised that out of all the Batman movies,
They're making,
all the animated movies,
they're
this
making one, right?
No, I don't know.
Isn't
No.
that- what was the next? Oh, Hush is the next one.
Hush.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
damn it.
they're doing Hush before Long Halloween.
Yeah, well, this one is like, it's pretty
Do
big.
you want them to do Long Halloween right now?
That's the thing.
The current lineup
no,
of
not the
animated
cur- not
films?
the cur-
Absolutely not.
No, not the current ones. I'm talking about if the team that did Phantasm was doing Long
yeah,
Halloween.
but they're not there.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. There's a lot of, after rereading this, because I haven't read this in a long ass time,
Yeah.
there's like a lot of Dark Knight, a lot of Dark Knight stuff.
Well, yeah,
it's real good.
Well, Chris Nolan based the origin of Harvey Dent very loosely on Long Halloween.
There's that one shot at the end, like, because like I forgot how long it takes Harvey to become Two-Face, and at the end
Yeah.
you see that first shot of him like coming out of the shadows with the coin. I'm like, holy shit, this is real good.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Yeah, even though, because I've read this book, God knows how many times, and even when I do try to reread it, I try to piece the mystery together, because the first holiday killer was Gilda, Harvey's wife.
Yeah, and
then
you don't reveal that until the very like final page.
But then Harvey shows up and he kills
on the anniversary of the Halloween.
He's supposed to kill Alberto,
Yeah.
but he doesn't. And then Alberto becomes the Halloween killer because he's trying to get his father to notice him.
Yeah, he just, oh man. And Alberto's not even like the killer.
No.
He just wants his father's attention.
Yeah, he becomes the killer for his father's attention. Gilda commits the first two holiday murders,
Right.
and then Harvey takes up for one, and then Alberto finishes off the rest. So
Man, that's some good stuff.
Alberto is caught, he's like, "I am Holiday," and then he like tries to I mean, just the whole like even the ending shot when I first read it, I was enthralled. It was like, no way.
Yeah.
No effing way.
I believe in Harvey Dent. Give me some of your opinions, guys. You haven't said anything.
I'm very tired.
Yeah, can I still get your opinion on the book, though?
It's good.
Oh, cool, dude. Okay.
Okay.
The Solomon Grundy section has always stood out as like one of my favorite.
Yes, Thanksgiving.
pieces. I
Batman has
always
Thanksgiving
remember
with
it.
Solomon Grundy.
Yeah, I always remember that for some reason. It's one of those pieces that strongest sticks out in my mind when
You
I
just
think
there's like
of
3
this
panels,
story.
it's like the sewer,
just-
and then a Batman's hand dropping a plate of food.
Yeah,
it's cute.
Everything with Solomon Grundy I thought was executed so well. There's a lot of moments with a lot of
Like
lot of
every
the other
month, there's a new
villains.
type of villain thrown
Yeah,
in.
and-
Actually, what's
they're handled
interesting-
really well.
What's interesting is because of this book, I haven't liked anything that DC does with Solomon Grundy because it's
I
nowhere
haven't-
near
Yeah,
as good.
it's kind of
Yeah.
accurate. I like what's done with Solomon Grundy here so much that I rarely like him done in most other Batman related stories
Yeah.
anyway.
He's kind of just always like a thug, right? Like a
especially,
brute.
yeah. I especially remember when they reimagined him for Earth 2, and I was like, no, thank you.
I don't mind. I've read a couple of stories with him and Superman. I don't mind as much, but like for Batman, this is pretty much the only way I like Solomon Grundy handled. And
Yeah.
everything else I think is kind of hot garbage.
Yeah.
So that's always been a standout for me for what I like in this book.
One of the other things I love about this book is Gordon, Commissioner or Captain
well, yeah.
Gordon.
Gordon's great.
Especially like the first rooftop meeting between Gordon, Dent, and Batman.
Yeah, that's so good.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like where Gordon's like, if in our zeal to bring down Carmine the Roman Falcone, I'll let you
Roman.
bend the rules, but you cannot break them.
Batman just disappears, and Gordon's like, yeah, he just does that.
Yeah.
He's a
Right.
jerk.
Yeah, and then throughout, you see Harvey slowly but surely dipping into madness. Like after his like 2 shots to the head, if you ask me, you couldn't have it to a nicer guy. Then Gordon's like, hold up.
Yeah, dude. And like, and again, with like, there's so much shadow imagery where like half his face is always covered.
Yeah.
And you slowly see him losing it with a coin. And like Gilda, I had no idea. Like I couldn't have predicted that.
No.
Right.
Like that's
No one
such a
could've.
good twist.
It
And
really
it's
is.
like the last 2 pages of the book.
And she just looks up and says, I believe in Harvey Dent.
That's real good, dude.
Oh.
This
There
book's
was
great.
this just reminded me, there was a Tim Sale Batman variant for Tom King's Batman run, I believe, in the early days of Rebirth. That always stands out to me because Batman has 3 arms on accident.
Oh, that's great.
It's really great because so Batman and Catwoman are in an embrace. It's visible. He's got an arm behind her, holding her behind her. He's got an arm on her face, and he's got an arm holding her hand.
You don't know about the Bat's third arm?
And I was like, wait, excuse me, what?
Hey, it's not his arm. He is the knight. No, yeah, but like in Tom King's Batman 50, like there's an artist who does like a page of all the different variations of the costumes, and there was the Jeph Loeb Tim Sale this outfit with like her big ears, and it's like, man, this is a great design.
It's also back at that time when it's like, man, Jeph Loeb, what happened?
Yeah.
I mean, we know what happened.
We know what happened, but yeah, this was early Jeph Loeb where he was fantastic.
Because Jeph Loeb is also responsible for like my favorite Superman book of all time, which is For All
Seasons.
Yeah.
That book's good.
He's Spider-Man Blue.
Yeah.
No, I love Spider-Man
and
Blue.
this combo of everything they've done is terrific. And then
like,
yeah,
because I have Spider-Man Blue, Daredevil Yellow, and Captain America White.
Yep.
And I
What about
really,
Hulk Gray?
Huh?
What about Hulk Gray?
I don't have Hulk Gray. I
What's
can't
wrong
afford
with you?
I want it.
You have 3 out of 4.
Can you get
I'm
it for
just
me?
giving you a
3
hard
out of 4
time.
ain't
I don't
bad.
care.
No, I want it, please. But I
That
enjoyed
hardcover is $100 anyway.
screw that. But I've enjoyed all of Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale's books together. But nothing can beat Long Halloween for me. Like when I was reading this recently, and I was thinking, it's like Captain America White is very bright. Even Daredevil Yellow is very bright.
It suits the characters.
Did you ever read the sequel to this, Dark Victory?
I haven't.
It's good. It's
Really?
not as good,
Yeah.
but it's good.
Yeah, but for me, just looking at Long Halloween, it just struck me for the first time. I was like, this is dark. Not dark as in story-wise. Dark as in the color palette is dark. And it's one of the times where DC does a good dark
like-
color palette.
I was
I
looking at
wonder
this.
if that'll be our next book club, Dark Victory.
Dark Victory.
I don't have it, but
Ben.
maybe.
I was looking at some description of this, and like, it's like, yeah, I wanted to make like the Godfather of like Batman comics, and I'm like, this is exactly what that is. This is about
it's
crime
100%
families and
exactly
people.
what it is.
Um,
And
it was all thanks to Archie Goodwin.
Thanks, Archie.
Well,
everything just works in it so well, and you don't get a dedicated comic story like this running right now outside of Doomsday Clock.
yeah. Which
I would say Mr. Miracle like this pretty.
Mr. Miracle's pretty strong from
Yeah,
what we
yeah,
read.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's now it's over.
It's just it's much more rare.
No, yeah.
This is super good stuff.
Yeah, this is like I'm trying to think like the best adaptation of this. I think would be like if it had to get made, because they're doing every animated movie now, but like I want like an HBO just like a 12 episode maxi, like
Yes.
just every month is the month they can cram the 14 and 12
Animated.
Sure, I would even do live action. Just like I want like the HBO. Like
I don't think
like,
I want this in live
Yeah.
action.
think
I
it'd be
just
fun.
don't see them being able to do it justice.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
That's- yeah.
I would probably be if I
Because
first.
you could do so much with the art style
Yeah.
if you animate it.
that's true. Yeah,
And I think a lot of, not that the story isn't great,
Yeah.
but a lot of what makes this book so appealing is
the art.
the art.
That's a
and,
good point.
and I think
that scares
I think this
me.
would
Also,
stand a
the-
lot better as an animation.
The Tim Sale ears don't work in live action.
Yeah,
No.
I just like you said, like the current cropping of DC movies. Like I wouldn't want that those people to make.
No,
this.
totally,
Like
totally.
with Hush, like I
But I think-
like Hush a lot.
just a general like how would I want this? I would prefer animation. I don't have faith in live action to capture this.
What?
I don't even.
You don't think Ben Affleck can do it?
No, yeah, but you specifically mentioned TV series, and I don't think a TV series think about the Solomon Grundy stuff could not be done on a TV show.
Oh, but it's a one. Sure, it could. It's only one episode or something.
I don't see it being done well. A movie, you'd have to condense a lot. I think
Well, I don't want this to be a movie.
it's far more
I-
possible.
I mean,
due to
I think-
budgetary reasons.
I think if they took the same approach as they did when they did Dark Knight Returns, did part 1, part 2.
Yeah,
If they
You
did,
know-
Year and a
I
half.
think you could do two films,
You
Where
know
do
what they
split
could
the movie
do?
in
two
half,
animated
then?
films
Guys,
of the Long Halloween.
You know what they could do?
What?
They could do it animated, but put it on the streaming service.
I'd watch it.
oh yeah, really
But
cheap.
if we do two movies, where's the middle? Like what's the point of action?
Hold on.
Independence
6
Day.
issues in, obviously.
Well, I know, but like
Yeah.
like for story reasons, like who's like a big person that gets killed? Because like it's all this
You
like
know
crime
what?
people,
I would
right?
say the Riddler when April Fool's Day when the Riddler doesn't die, and the last line of the movie before you go into part 2 is when does a killer not kill?
That's pretty good. Okay. Yeah.
That's just me spitballing here.
I just like when I see these comics and when I reread these comics and I'm like, man, I want to see this like if it's not live action, like I want to see this on the TV, like because like the writing is so sharp and like and the directing is so crisp. And I'm like, I just want that translated, but I know it's impossible. But
yeah,
I just want
Killing
it.
Joke.
Exactly.
No, just one more thing.
He'd end up having sex with Catwoman, and it'd be really weird.
But just one thing I
Well,
really
that's
want
not-
to say about this book.
I don't want to
Better
see animated
them-
Batman.
No, I
have
get it, but
sex.
better them than Batgirl.
Just one last thing I really want to say about this book
Say it,
is
baby.
whenever a friend of mine comes up to me and says, "Hey, what are some good comics for me a person who's not into comics, what books should I read to get into them?" Long Halloween is either the very first one or the second one. I will recommend them off the top of my head.
It is a good one. Like if someone who doesn't read comics, like you get almost all of his villains, like a little piece on each of them. Like you get to learn about the detective,
Yeah.
you get to learn about Harvey Dent, how he becomes Two-Face.
Because this is Batman. You get the action scenes, you get the detective reasoning, you
Yep.
get him being the Dark Knight.
and it's an actual like mystery that
Yeah.
like you don't immediately solve. Like I thought for a second, oh man, maybe it is Harvey Dent. He's just this is the new Two-Face. I'm like, nope, he's still Two-Face. Yep.
Right.
Leads us into our book club, which is Ben this week.
Yay!
Take it away.
We can discuss this one because we've all read this.
Yeah.
Yes, we
it's
have,
awesome.
We have all read. I binged it. It became one of my favorite Batman stories of all time. Probably is my favorite Batman story of all time.
Can you binge a book?
I do all the time.
Yeah, you can binge a book.
I went home. I got my homework done. I sat down. I read this thing in 3 hours straight.
Yeah, dude.
It is Batman: The Long Halloween.
And long
It is a one-shot story of a collected 12-issue maxi series by Jeph Loeb, drawn by Tim Sale, and honestly, it to me encompasses all of what Batman is. He is a crime fighter. He is a detective. It has the perfect essence of action. It balances his rogues gallery
He's a
for me
playboy.
perfectly. And yeah, you do see Bruce Wayne a little bit of playboy when he's hanging out with Selena and Kyle and saying, where Selena says, "Hey Bruce, you want to hang out for a little while in the beginning?" Look, it says, "No, it's getting a little late even for me." And she has a devilish smile because she changes her Catwoman
She
costume,
knows.
and then Batman, and then you see Bruce flying as Batman.
Very,
It's a-
very noir.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I love it. It is a noir story. The main purpose is that there is a killer going around killing people on holidays. The first murder happens on Halloween, and it's not just a random murder. No, it is This murderer is targeting members of the Falcone crime of the Carmine Falcone crime.
Love Carmine
family.
Falcone with the scars.
Yes, with the cats, with the scars where you see that he got from Batman Year One.
Spoiler alert, it's not Calendar Man.
No, it's not. And this was a character I didn't know who Calendar Man was until I read this, and I was like, oh, so he commits crimes on certain days of the calendar. And just the Solomon Grundy's in there, the Joker's in there, the Riddler's in there, and it also does a great way of introducing a different origin for Harvey Dent, Two-Face.
This reintroduced Harvey Dent to main continuity of the DC
Yeah,
It
universe.
was, and also another little fun fact: this book was very loosely adapted into The Dark Knight.
It was one of 3.
One of 3, yes. This book was one of them. And honestly, if there was any sort of DC animated movie that they should make, it is The Long Halloween. And there's even a Long Halloween reference in Batman Arkham Knight.
We've seen The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
Maybe they should stop making animated films.
I haven't read this
Okay.
in a while. Is this where Poison Ivy takes over Superman?
No.
No.
What's that one?
That's Hush.
Thank you. Hush.
Yeah.
Okay.
Art
Honestly-
by Jim Lee.
Honestly, I think this book is long enough that they can do it an hour
Jeph
and a
Loeb
half.
did do.
Yeah, he did Hush. He
Yeah.
wrote Hush.
Yeah.
He didn't. Tim Sale didn't drop that.
No, that was Jim Lee.
Now, just reading this book once got me into wanting to look up the other stuff that Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale did, because Tim Sale's art style, it's classic '90s Batman, but also with his own little twist on it. Like the ears are really, really long. Batman looks menacing, but you know he's here to help you.
Catwoman is kind of weird, but I dig it.
Catwoman,
Yeah.
it's
Big ol' ears.
But Poison Ivy even, she's got like a green hue to her, but you can tell she's Poison Ivy, she's here to seduce you, but you know she can kill you.
His artwork-
Joker looks just crazy as all hell.
His artwork is unique.
Yes.
He's been doing variants for the current Batman series and Rebirth.
His characters pop.
Yes.
His character's very
So
much
that's
pop.
why it makes me want to look at their Marvel stuff. Like I bought Daredevil Yellow.
Right, he and Tim Sale, Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale
Homies.
did 4, now 4, it was 3, a color series where they kind of Spider-Man Blue, Daredevil Yellow,
Hulk Gray.
Hulk Gray, and Captain America White. And what they decided they did is they wanted to tell very personable human stories with characters, which is why they used colors that aren't generally associated with those characters. Like when you hear about Spider-Man, you think red.
Yeah.
You think about Captain America, you think blue and red. You think about Daredevil, you think red. But like it's blue, and people don't remember that Daredevil's original costume was yellow and red. Mm-hmm. So yellow. People don't remember that Hulk used to be gray. So
Yep.
Hulk gray.
Dude, I love the way he does Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
she's so good.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Now, one of the reasons why
love
I
that.
absolutely love this book is that the whole story, yes, the Rogues Gallery is involved, but they don't completely take away from the main crime drama and the detective work that is of them trying to find out who the heck is Holiday. And
even Joker wants to know.
yeah, Joker wants to
Yeah.
find out what's going on. Counterman is just like going crazy because he's in a cell at Arkham this whole time. He's like got a little Hannibal Lecter vibe going on there. And just the ending of the book itself, when everything is explained, there isn't a parlor room scene, but there is. I'm not going to spoil the ending for our audience, but it is one of those things where you look at it and go, holy shit. Like the first time I read it, I had to reread it 3 different times just to understand what happened. Because it literally comes out of left field, but it comes out of left field in a good way.
I love the way there are so many villains in here, but not in a bad
Yeah.
way. They just weave in and out of the story the whole time.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
one of my favorite things about this is that it has such great balance
And I
of
just...
all its elements and especially its villains. There's just balance to the whole story.
And
A lot of Batman stories tend to just be a villain.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he deals with the villain, or maybe there's a guest star villain. But this is as Batman as being a detective, he is going through the villains through his rogues gallery. I feel it makes Gotham feel very lived in, feel very much Batman's a detective and he's
It's a
going
full
through.
world.
It's a full world, yeah.
Yes, and also I also love the scenes in this where they're black and white because you always see the murder scenes. You always see the murder happen when Holiday kills his next victim. You always see it happen, but you never see who he really is.
It's been so long since I've read it. I don't even think I remember who Holiday was because he hasn't shown up in DC Comics continuity since.
Holiday is one of those great villains where it's a villain that it's kind of like the Phantasm in Batman Mask of the Phantasm. They only showed up once, but they showed up. But even that they're in, like, say, their own little realm of continuity, that one time they made such an impact that you remember them for years to come.
Yeah, I forgot. He was just like a no guy. He was just like a no name guy, and they haven't used him. You're right. That's interesting.
I wanna maybe someday we keep bringing up the fact that they haven't used the Phantasm. They may actually start using the Phantasm.
I
that'd be
kind of want
great.
to write a Phantasm book, honestly. But
Ruined Hush.
yeah, but the Long Halloween to me, if DC,
Probably why they
52.
haven't- It's probably why they haven't touched this.
but
guys.
if
They
Warner
don't
Brothers,
want to
but
smear.
if Warner Brothers can actually, like, if Kevin Conroy is down to come back to be a voice of Batman again, I would really love him to be in the Long Halloween.
Is this too long for like a 70-minute movie? Do you think?
I
Because
think you could tone it down. I think you could cut it down.
cut some of that.
Oh yeah,
stuff
you
out.
can easily cut some things out of this book, but
I don't think this story. So after the Killing Joke, I've realized that.
I think it was that specific story, though. Honestly,
No, I do think so, but I think after the Killing Joke, I think I'm okay with maybe someone else being Bruce Wayne Batman.
Bruce Wayne Batman. Okay.
Bruce Greenwood was a great Batman.
Yeah,
Great
he
Batman. He continued him in Young Justice after he did Under the Red Hood.
Yeah.
Like Bruce Greenwood should be a great Batman for this. He has the proper voice for a story like this. I don't think Kevin Conroy. I'm happy with Kevin Conroy on Justice League Action.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think. I don't think a story.
great,
I don't think a story like this needs Kevin Conroy.
Either or, I would just love
What's his
to
name? Jason O'Mara.
Oh, I don't want him.
Okay. Either or, I would just love to see this story adapted into animated film because I honestly think there is enough meat on these bones to fill a 70, maybe even a 90-minute animated film because there's just so much in this book that you can do, and you could probably wash the taste that was Killing Joke out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think Killing Joke should have been maybe a 20-minute short.
I honestly think this
Or
would be
never.
a part 1, part 2 situation.
That's what I'm
Part
thinking.
two.
Like, I don't think one's enough.
Honestly, it probably could. It probably could because
It's like Dark Knight
yeah,
Returns.
'cause
and
Yeah,
I
like
like
Dark
I
Knight
like that.
Returns.
I like that.
all the chapters in this book, they're different holidays. Chapter 1, chapter
Yes.
1 and chapter 13, they're not called Halloween. It's but all
Different
the other holidays,
Labor Day.
all the other ones are. Which just and honestly, I have to say, I love this cover. I have one of the very first printings of the Long Halloween. There is a new. It's mass produced, so you can still find it in comic stores today. But it's not that cool of a cover. The cover I have, I
Yeah.
know you can't see it, but it's Batman doing the classic cape thing with his eyes
Oh, it
squinting.
has the
It just has
I forgot
Batman.
about that logo.
The new cover has Batman swooping down, whereas this one has the calendar dates of different holidays, and now it
Remember
has
that logo?
The good logo?
Good logo.
The new logo now is not that bad.
I like the new logo.
Folds over like paper. So guys, just hear me out. This like just like
You have, buddy. You have the 10th printing of this book.
The 10th printing.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's better than.
But
11.
still, I love it because of this cover. The new cover, I don't necessarily like.
I'm just saying. Imagine in like 20 years, DC's ruined everything. They're dead. HBO gets a 12 episode long Halloween just thing. Just like
Oof.
just full as much translation, as much money as you want. I'm just saying that'd be cool.
Yeah, right.
I would be happy.
No, I know. I'm just saying like this is a really cool story.
As much as we want a Watchmen animated, a Watchmen
I don't want that.
No.
HBO series.
But honestly, this is one of the books where even though I've read this over and over countless times, I can still, when I want to read something, I could pick it up and I could feel just like I'm reading it just
Yeah.
the very first time. It is that engaging. It's that the art is beautifully drawn.
Stuff with Two-Face is fantastic.
Harvey Dent, you can even see Harvey Dent's slow descent into madness as Two-Face before the acid gets thrown in his face.
Yeah,
That-
it is very much his arc in this story influenced The Dark Knight.
honestly, this work. I think this is one of Jeph Loeb's best pieces of writing he's
Yeah.
ever done.
Sure.
I mean, Batman v Superman, Public Enemies is good. I haven't read Daredevil yet, but I assume
I
that.
think I like Hush.
Superman, Batman, Public Enemies.
Yeah,
He,
Superman,
he
Batman,
did
Public
he
Enemies
did the
is-
Superman Batman run for a very long
Yeah.
Like
time.
50 something issues or
Yeah,
something.
like
Public
that, yeah.
Enemies is good. I have that. I haven't read Daredevil yet, but I'm assuming
The
that's
Superman
good.
Batman run is good.
Hush is I didn't like Hush as I thought I would.
I'm a big fan.
I probably have to reread it.
I
It's
just
been
think
a long
Thomas
time.
Elliott is like a cool anti-Batman.
He is a cool guy.
The ending of Hush falls apart because it wasn't initially supposed to be Thomas Elliott.
Right.
Yeah.
However,
Jason Todd and all that stuff.
this story, the best part about this, it's self-contained.
Right.
You don't have to look into anything else. It's a great noir story. They even have it in the Batman noir series where it's completely black and white.
That's awesome.
For
actually.
me, something I love about it is that, and this is no surprise, this is one of my favorite Batman comics because I really like watching characters when they decide they're going to isolate an event series and then tell a story over time.
Mm-hmm.
And so this one sits right next to my favorite Superman comic, Superman for All Seasons.
Yes.
Surprise, surprise. No wonder that's
Is
the
that Gary
case.
Frank?
You know what? I need to buy that book so
I don't think
bad.
that's Gary Frank.
No.
No, it's Jeph Loeb, Tim Sale.
It's Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale.
Oh, okay. Sorry. What am I-
It's the exact same team.
Exact
There you
same
go.
team.
Doing
So when I
Superman.
see these two guys' names on a book,
Yeah.
I'm like, I want that book now.
Unlike
Except
Superman.
Haunted Night and Dark Victor, I haven't read those yet. Heard they weren't that good.
Unlike Superman for All Seasons, Batman Haunted Night and Batman Dark Victory are stories that take place after this book. Dark Victory specifically is the new origin for Robin.
Ooh,
Is the
interesting.
introducing Dick Grayson into the mainstream comic.
I haven't heard good things about those stories, but Long Halloween is downright.
They're not
amazing.
as good. It's fair to say that those two books aren't as good as Long Halloween.
Okay.
Not to say they're bad.
I haven't read them yet.
Just Long Halloween is such a.
Yeah, long. It's such a
piece.
Such a
It
high
is
bar.
such
Yeah.
a tough act to follow.
I mean, like, what are the Batman comics that are the go-tos? This, Killing Joke, and Dark Knight Returns.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They're the big three
Yeah.
of Batman.
So that's gonna wrap it up.
That's a good one,
Gonna
man.
wrap up our.
I want to
book
go
club.
home. I want to read it
That's a
now.
good book.